Q&A with HG Tudor, Part 3. Hello, valuable viewers. It's me, HG Tudor. You've posed me questions in the hundreds. I'm working my way through them. If you have any further questions you'd like me to answer, then all you need to do is pose your questions in the comments section, and I will get to them in due course and answer as many as I possibly can. Accordingly, without further ado, let's get down and address your questions. Laura F. asks, HG, will the final installment of When Harry's Wife Met HG feature a catastrophic car chase? No, it won't. Elizabeth MC, do you do the thumbnails for your videos? They are excellent. Thank you very much. The thumbnails are created by a graphic designer. I explain to him the brief, so I'll often provide him with photographs. I'll tell him the impression that I want to be conveyed by the thumbnail, who I want in it, how they look. Sometimes I give him free rein, other times I'm more specific. And he then responds with his offering, and invariably he gets it right first time around. If it's not quite what I want, there's a bit of back and forth until he delivers what I want, but he does an excellent job. Mocha, what moments in life were you happiest? I don't do happy. It's not on my spectrum of responses. Custard Chucker, HG, will you consider posting more guitar videos? Yes, I will consider it. I have considered it, and I will post more. HRH Princess Arauna, do you ever use your narcissism to deliberately hurt someone's feelings? Yes. It's not really a case, though, of me using my narcissism, but it's actually being me. And because I'm a narcissistic psychopath, I am governed by my narcissistic psychopathy, which means that I do hurt people's feelings. FrenzyViz62, HG, when people thank you, does it mean anything to you? It matters to me because it signals that they're under control. It also provides me with positive fuel. So it matters to me in that respect. It's not meaningful in the way that it might be meaningful to you. I expect it. It ought to be given because, of course, when I provide information, when I help people, when I do things for people, I expect to be thanked. It's part of the submission of their control and, of course, ensuring that they're providing me with fuel. Scandi, can I benefit from a consultation with you even though I'm only indirectly affected by the narcissist? As in, empath, ex-husband, father of my child is behaving like one, much like Harry, and it affects both our son and our shared business in a very negative way. This is absolutely something, Scandi, that you should contact me to consult with me about. I've dealt with similar situations with other people, and just because it might be an indirect impact upon you doesn't mean that the impact is any less for you. So I would certainly encourage you to get in touch and organise an audio consultation with me post-haste. Joa asks, HG's life motto is, if it moves, fuck it. No, it isn't. It's more likely to be, life is like a box of... No, of course it's not that either. My life motto is Victoria or Mort. Victory or death. It's all or nothing. Michelle L., will you write an autobiography? Well, I partially have done so, Michelle, because many of the things that I tell you about through my blog articles are autobiographical, and accordingly, you're getting some of that there. Of course, many of the blog articles are discussing aspects of narcissism, explaining it from the perspective of different types of narcissist. But if you read my various books, because they also include material that you won't find on the blog or in any of my videos, you learn more about me. Also, if you access the Knowing HG series, which you'll find in the Knowledge Vault, link in the video description, you'll also be able to learn far more about me and the way that I function, the way that I think, etc. So there's autobiographical aspects scattered throughout my works, blog articles, the books, and also the Knowing HG series. I do plan on pulling this all together and writing a sort of cradle till now autobiography, probably spans several volumes. I've started work on it, for instance, with Little Boy Lost, where I'm telling you about basically how I came to be created and my childhood. So that creates some of it. Aspects of it I have to be cautious about because of protecting my identity, because of what I still do. So either I will write it in a way that won't reveal anything, or I'll wait to release that until I've deemed that it's appropriate for me to do so. You also ask, if your book is successful, will you do meet and greet for your supporters? Potentially, I would do so. That, of course, is some way off because of the need to protect my identity. CMBRX. HG. Do you think it is that sliver of empathy you possess that will be the source of your inevitable implosion? No, I don't have any emotional empathy. If you think that I have, you're wrong, and it's wishful thinking on your part. Elizabeth R. Any tips on how to recognise any very rare greater narcs that may be in our lives? Use the narc detector. That will make a determination as to what you're dealing with. You can also access the blog articles and videos which are about greater narcissists. There's more information contained in there that will help you with such an analysis. I would say that the likelihood of you being involved personally with a greater narc is very rare indeed. Most people are involved with lesser and mid-range. Aldengal, H2. HG, having proclaimed yourself a narcissist, well, I didn't proclaim myself as being a narcissist. I'm a diagnosed narcissistic psychopath, and I've explained to you that's what I am. Do you ever worry about what kind of woman would be drawn to you? Goodness me, no. 2 reasons. 1, I don't worry. And 2, why on earth would I worry about drawing women to me? It's nice and easy. Do you mean, am I concerned that I might draw narcissists to me? No, I regularly do so, and I deal with them. Would I be concerned that I might draw nutters to me? I do draw nutters to me, and it just amuses me. Elizabeth Weather. You occasionally laugh at other people's humour when interacting, interviews, live streams. But do you really find it funny, or is it that simply a response for the facade? Laughter for most of us is a stress reliever, endorphin releaser, so understanding the difference to what you personally feel could be helpful. Thank you. Very polite of you, Elizabeth. Laughter is not a stress reliever for me because I don't get stressed. It's more about control for me, and as you know, I have means of dealing with those threats to control and maintaining that control. When it comes to laughing, it's not so much part of the facade where I'm dealing with them, it's part of the veneer, and I use my laughter as a means to control them. Of course, where I'm undertaking an interview that's going to be watched or listened to by many other people, in those circumstances, it is part of the facade as you have identified as part of that fitting in. But it's done because I recognise that that is what the appropriate response is to something that they'll have said. It also, when I'm having the discussion with them, puts them at their ease, which means it's going to be a more productive interview, which of course benefits me. MS in the Groove. HG, can you create a video analysis of Ashley Havanier? It's actually spelled Hovenier, et al. In the Ensnared series. It's been a brain teaser trying to figure everyone out. Well, that is the purpose, or part of the purpose of that series, for you to flex your Tudor learning at the University of Tudor to determine who are these people. This series, as well as When HG Met Harry's Wife, it's the other way around, she met me, series concretizes via fully fleshed out characters the intellectual concepts in your theory of personality. Thank you, sir. CP on the left coast. I'm not going to do this immediately because I need to finish the Seduction Ensnared series. Of course, if I was to tell you now what everybody is, it would spoil the 3rd series because you would know what you're dealing with. There are some twists and turns yet, so I need to finish that series, and then I will undertake an analysis explaining to people what the main characters are so that people understand them. Adelia, are narcissists always intelligent, or can they be almost opposite? I had a friend who wasn't bright but never seemed to care and took on others' ideas and even looks and personality. Well, that person may or may not have been a narcissist. You'd need to put them through the narc detector to make that determination. In terms of are narcissists intelligent, the short answer is no, they are not. There are many dim-witted narcissists. Lower lesser, middle lesser, they're invariably fuckwits. Some lower mid-rangers can be. Even middle range A, middle mid-range B might not be hugely intelligent, but they'll be of some intelligence. Upper lesser A, upper lesser B, they vary. You can have some which are thick as pig shit, and you can have some who are hugely intelligent. So, narcissists are not always intelligent? No. Chase Holmes, you've said you don't experience fear, correct? Do you ever find things gross? Well, I don't really use the term gross. It's not really within my lexicon, being British. What I may say is something that is disgusting. So, for instance, if I see somebody picking their nose and eating it, I find that disgusting. I find somebody that has made a mess and not cleaned up after themselves. I find that disgusting. So there are certain behaviours and things that I will find disgusting, but it doesn't cause me a huge problem. It doesn't cause me to barf or go, ooh, I can't deal with it. But I recognise disgusting behaviour and I'll say as such and deal with it accordingly. Gemini, have you ever had any of your primary supply victims come forward after they might have discovered your YouTube channel? Easy one, this? No. Georgia, do you ever feel tenderness to someone, something yourself? No. The only tenderness I experience is where I've been injured. Nickaboon, if someone says I love you really quickly, doesn't mean they are probably a narcissist. Well, it might be that the doors are closing and therefore they need to say it very quickly, or they're going to run out of money on a call that they're making, so they need to say it quickly. I think what you mean is if somebody says it fairly soon in the relationship, it is a red flag. It is an indicator of a sense of entitlement. Of itself, it is not determinative, it is merely an indicator. So if somebody does express their love for you very early on, you should be wary, because it's a significant indicator, but of itself, it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is a narcissist. Northeast. Is it possible that I could have heard you or have seen you on another YouTube channel under a pseudonym other than Tudor? You will not have seen me. There is no video footage in the world that exists showing me other than that I've put out myself. And of course, you never see me clearly enough to identify me. But I have not appeared visually on another YouTube channel. You will have heard me on other YouTube channels when I've been interviewed by people. And of course, you'll have known me as HG Tudor. I have been on another YouTube channel under a different pseudonym. Anna Maria, which of your books are best to start with when looking to understand the seduction process and how narcissists get one hooked in the beginning? I would recommend that you read Red Flag, which details 50 red flags of seduction. Ruby Troy, HG, how did you become so knowledgeable about narcissism? 1, I'm a very clever man. 2, I've been granted insight through my particular type of narcissism and psychopathy to understand myself. And 3, it's as a consequence of years of observation, study, researching those around me. There are narcissists in my family. I have friends who are narcissists. I've dealt with many people through my professional dealings who are narcissists. I have had sexual relationships with narcissists. Accordingly, I have had such a significant exposure to narcissists through various periods of my life. I've watched them, observed them. That's what I do with people. It enables me to be all the more effective. And therefore, in the circumstances, I draw that information in, and I did so about narcissists, hence I've become so knowledgeable about them. Tracy G, would you consider doing a series on narcissistic TV movies characters? Well, I think you mean TV or movie characters who are narcissists. I've actually spoken about this in my interview with Dr. Julia Friedman just recently, so you'll get some examples there. So I'd encourage you to listen to that interview. Rani H71, for fun, what would be your weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse? Great question. I like questions like this. Let's have more of this nature of question. I think for the sheer visceral delight of causing mayhem, it would be a morning star. For those of you who aren't familiar, morning star is a medieval weapon where it can be fixed, but I would prefer the ball and chain version. So you have a metal ball which has spikes on it that sits on the end of a chain and you hold a handle. And you will swing that and basically crush somebody's skull. Now, as we know, In order to kill a zombie, you need to smash its brains in. And because I'm not frightened of them, getting up close and personal with them, but with sufficient distance that I can smash their head in before they get near me, that would be particularly enjoyable. Of course, one could have guns and shoot them, but it's not the same as getting right up close and cracking skulls in such a way. I'd much prefer that. Mary Hayashi. HG, will you ever hold a worldwide golden ticket giveaway that grants the 7 lucky ticket holders a brief glimpse inside of Tudor Towers, a la Ronald? I think you mean Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I would very much like to, at an appropriate time, when I deem it appropriate in terms of protecting my identity, to organise in some shape or form. Either I would monetize it and basically say that you pay this price, you get to come and spend some time with me, or do it by way of auction, or possibly that you pay a small price and you get a ticket and then a draw will be held, and the lucky ticket holder winners would then be invited to basically have an evening with HG. So that I would invite you to one of the Tudor Towers, show you around, and then have dinner with you and allow you to chat away and question me, and I would entertain you so that you get to know me better and be mesmerised by my charismatic presence. My readers and viewers are very valuable to me, and it would be a delight to put faces to names. I have with some people, of course, because they send me pictures, or when I've consulted with them, they show themselves on camera, which is absolutely fine and a delight to get to see people. However, there hasn't been that intimate physical, and when I say intimate, I don't mean sexual, I just mean the sheer physical proximity between me and my viewers or readers. And at some point, I would enjoy doing that. I've also considered at some point whether I would embark upon some kind of venue tour where I would arrange that I would speak about me and narcissism and psychopathy in the flesh and do it on the basis of selling tickets and so forth. Again, something for the future. But it's something that I would like to do. Currently, no, because of the necessity of protecting my identity. But in the future, absolutely something that I would consider doing and I would like to do. Well, that covers all of the questions in this Q&A. Keep them coming in the comments section and see next time whether yours is chosen to be answered. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.